And that
It's the
grunting
same as
sound is the first thing that our viewers will hear. Thanks, Templar.
Don't even give a fuck.
Hello, world.
Every last one of you is in fact all the homo in the universe. Get over it.
Hey, Cody.
Litecoin is just jumping all over the place on GDAX. It's great.
It's beautiful. Take care, everybody.
Why am I at level 1? Oh, right, I gotta load game. There we go. I forgot about that. What does a lysis plant do?
No clue.
Lime. Well, what the heck, I got money. Can't go there. Tronicle, if you're watching, you gotta double click the channel. I can't take the boat.
User joined your channel.
Hey, Tronicle.
Hey, how's it going?
And there's an even bigger magnet.
So playing Crystalis.
Uh-huh. Did you watch yesterday's stream?
Hey, Rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Another thing I don't like about this game is you can get stuck on NPCs who won't shut up at you. I'm bored. May we talk a while?
No. In fact, get away from me. I don't want to be around you.
Hey Mookie, hey Vela.
Hey, Coyote.
It took you guys long enough to fucking figure it out. Jesus Christ, man.
I knew it was you. I just didn't give a shit.
I knew you wasn't the real John Kelly, but I needed you. I need to figure out who you were.
Still quitting Discord.
Well,
And Leo wants you to come say hey in DDM.
no one cares.
But you care enough to say no one cares. That's something.
Yeah, to say no one cares.
And every little bit counts.
No, like Templar is not kidding. Like, nobody cares. True.
You want me to actually go tell him that? Or you want to tell him
I'm
yourself?
too busy monitoring some shit.
And he just wanted to see his friend.
He's just watching his games, man. He's gonna watch those games.
Yup.
You okay?
I'm good, I'm just thinking getting sick.
Hey, Popey.
Well, what you need to do is you need to drink some tea. And you just need to lay down and just watch some crypto markets.
Oh, I'm gonna lay down in a bit.
Hey, John.
That's not
Hey,
John,
hey, John.
Max.
It's John
Oh
Kelly
my god.
Rose!
I'll make it real simple for you guys.
Well, Tradical's never been in here before, nor do I believe
I
he
have,
knows
I
who
have
John Kelly
before.
is.
The fucking John Kelly is dead, alright?
Or not like actually dead, more
Or
like,
destitute. What one of well he's
societally
definitely
dead.
He's definitely
Rookie
destitute.
says lay
because-
up the weed, dude.
No, he's definitely
Hardy
destitute.
says, I probably won't be around for long. My best friend wants to watch Gun Kick together. You know, that's Richard Spencer's favorite movie, guys.
The,
You mean Dick Spencer? 'Cause he's a dick. That fucking dick.
this game looks fun.
It is.
The little bacon be coming.
Bacon? No. No, Bacon's dead, unfortunately.
Can't be dead.
Dead. We had a memorial for him earlier. We had pork sandwiches, actually. It was really good. It was nice to service. That's what he wanted. He wanted to be made into barbecue sandwiches.
Hey, there we go. Got him. Man, that thing was annoying.
So QQ's not here, Ray?
Nah, he's gonna be on late.
He's never gonna be here. Excuse me. That's not QQ.
User joined
No,
your channel.
I am cute.
You're not QQ. Get out. Get out,
I'm
fam.
definitely QQ.
We know you're QQ.
Well, hi, Fab. Also, nice Windows error there, brah.
Actually, that was a note.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
I think he was talking to Dan.
Actually, that was a Windows notification telling me. Let me see. Oh, that I have messages on Xbox Live. 999. I'm not fucking going on Xbox Live to check my fucking messages. Go fuck yourself.
You still have an Xbox?
I have an Xbox 360 sitting in a closet.
Oh, okay.
No, it's an Xbox 360. Retarded.
Which is probably just a $200 Netflix machine.
No, you know, ironically, I'm willing to bet the 360 probably still has better games than PS4 and Xbox One, but like, at this point I can get most of those games on the PC, so it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
Especially now they put Decimiles on PC.
I've started to get back to play Bioshock 2.
You played Decimiles, Max?
No. Is it good?
Oh, it's excellent.
Hey, Max.
That
What?
one, if you got it at just the right time, you get the limited edition for a very cheap price for Xbox 360. Though it's on Steam now, so it doesn't matter as much.
But what about the art book? What about the art book?
Oh, Virate.
I know this. I know
Virate, you
that
missed
the soundtracks are on Steam, but I don't know about the art book.
Also, in other news, I saw that video you posted, Rain, about the rumored spoilers. And I mean, I wasn't planning on seeing it because I was going, it's got J.J. Abrams' mitts all over it, which means he's gonna do his usual sleight of hand of making it seem like what he's showing you.
Work on the second one.
Well, he still has his hands in the background, right?
Yeah.
Like writers' rooms and crap like that. So, my take on it is, it's the usual stick with anything that he's got his hands on. He tries to say he's presenting such a product in such a fashion, and then you actually see it, and you end up going and saying, this isn't what anyone wants at all. You tricked me. And you can get tricked once, but you can't get tricked by him twice. So...
Who is echoing? Matt,
I think
you're
it's-
echoing.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
It's kind of like basically. So when I saw that, I was like, I'm not surprised. Nonsensical plot that goes nowhere, and doing the usual thing of just like murdering off the old cast for the new cast, the OC Donut Steel cast. When people like me would have just said, "Look, man, you can politely retire the characters in a way that doesn't involve them outright murdering them." Just a hint.
Imagine if they had gotten 2 more Ghostbusters movies and then slowly killed off the original cast of the series.
Hey, Placebo.
But you see,
Oh,
here's the thing, Rain. Isn't that the end goal of all socialists? To murder the old people?
Pretty much. Can't have it. Can't have poor people. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out.
And what's the point of Social Security in the first place?
It was a scam, Rain.
Yeah.
Boomers benefited from it.
We have to understand the real reason why the first social security system was ever introduced was because Bismarck was afraid after conquering Prussia and making the German Empire, he was afraid that all the people he conquered were going to revolt. So he figured that the best way to fix the problem was to throw money at people who were old enough to die, because he figured, well, they're not young enough to fight, and they could just trick the younger generation into supporting me, and the average lifespan is like, what, 65 years? So it's not like anyone's going to hit that, age anyways. So, the original inspiration of what Social Security was designed to be was really nothing more than a big bribe to a bunch of conquered people so that they wouldn't rebel. So when you think about it from that perspective, it's like Social Security is like a scam that's always been put out, but very few politicians want to be honest and say, look, man, we're just bribing you with your own fucking money.
The money has to run out at some point.
And the only time that you might get an exception is what we've done in Canada, and I think a couple other places where the public pension stuff is put into actual investment funds and whatnot, instead of a pyramid scheme.
Man, Templar just keeps going out.
Yeah, he does that.
I know, terrible internet.
Get it right, it's potato-powered internet.
So anyone got any plans for Christmas?
Oh, my big
Mountain Blade's good, Cowdy.
User entered
Oh,
your channel.
I'd finished my Christmas shopping, so it's about that. Still
Take
got a couple
Christmas back,
$1,000.
boys.
Still got a couple $1,000 to spend.
To be honest, Christmas shopping is going to be pretty easy because there's not much to really shop for amongst anyone in our family. We're at the
Rude.
point where it's like, well, we're, giving gifts to other extended family members, but I don't know. How do I put it this way? Maybe it's just the fact of our Scottish ancestry in our family that we're kind of like, we don't ask for much because we're kind of good skeevers. I mean, for me, the only thing that really matters is the post-Christmas shopping,
User
because
disconnected from your channel.
basically I've come to the conclusion that if I'm replacing my car for the next year, it might be better just to wait till January, because then the year rolls over, and most of the models you might have within a reasonable 4 to 5 year time period. It might extend to 5 years for a used vehicle, but the price jumps from like sometimes from $1,000 to $2,000.
Whenever I let Ray on my show I do on YouTube, we talked about taking Christmas back.
Right, here's the simplest way you take Christmas back. You just wish people Merry Christmas. It is such a fucking simple thing to do, and nobody gets triggered.
Well, we were talking about Christians, and that. And you died.
Yeah. Luckily the penalty for dying in this game isn't too harsh.
User in your channel timed out.
Hey, Drain, 4 more days until the new Star Wars movie.
Which I'm never gonna see.
Me
but
neither.
if I'm lucky, I'm gonna go and see if I can find Blade Runner 2048.
Oh, I need to watch that. I need to watch the original one.
Watch
You're
the
better off just
theatrical
skipping
cut.
to the original.
Did I just
So,
go in a circle?
The Rain, after you beat Crystalis, what game do you plan to play next?
Probably uninvited.
What'd be funny is if you pick the version of Uninvited for like some other emulation of computer. Like, if you could.
I have the Steam version, but it doesn't have sound.
Wait, what? What?
You know, I've always wondered, speaking of emulation, why all these companies that are using DRM and all this shit to lock down their games, even though they know it's gonna get fucking cracked in a day, why don't they just fucking use smart emulation? Like, it's been done before, and it's been proven that it takes years upon years to crack that type of shit. Just wrap your game code in an anti-emulation fucking code base, and that's it. Then fucking people can spend the next 5 to 10 years trying to crack your game, and by the time they do, guess what? Nobody cares because you're so late to the party. Fucking Sega did it with the Saturn. It took fucking 20 years to crack the Sega Saturn CD and fucking start cracking games. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it costs more to do that, but like, if companies really want to stop people from pirating their game, that's the way to do it. Because then it don't matter. No matter what you fucking do to build an emulator, 9 times out of 10, chances are it's just gonna detect that it's being emulated and it's not on the actual hardware, and it's gonna give you a giant fuck you.
I think what Microsoft does for Xbox is they ban you if they find out you're pirating games. So then you can't play online anymore.
Yeah, that's what Sony does, and that's what... Well, Nintendo goes a step further by sending you lawsuit notices or warnings.
Ooh, it's spicy.
Or cease and desist orders, because, you know, Nintendo is very nice.
Shigeru Miyamoto is a very interesting man.
He's just a director.
I know. I'm just trying to keep the conversation
The other thing is
going.
they fucking... All these companies worrying about their games being pirated, then don't fucking release it on PC. That's step number 1. Step number 2, like I said, wrap it in an anti-emulation code base.
But here's the way I see it. It's not difficult to... The issue is not releasing it on PC. It's if you're stupid enough to put the DRM on in the first place.
Well, no, fucking DRM's gonna get cracked regardless, but if you, like, fucking put smart anti-emulation fucking code on your game, that's it. Like, someone can fucking spend a shit ton of time trying to code a custom emulator to get around it for years upon years, but you still won because by that point the game's old and nobody cares and they've forgotten about it. Concept is not new. Companies were doing it in the 90s.
Of course, the wind sword is useless against the bird enemies. There's no reason why wind would damage creatures of flight. Yeah. Another thing I hate about this game is that when you have to open the menu to switch between swords, and then they put the ring thing all the way at the other side of the menu. So you gotta click through the whole thing just to get to it. They couldn't put the two of them next to each other, or so you can skip the two that you never the armor and the shield, which you never change. And the chat's just talking about various grand strategy games and completely ignoring everything that's happening here.
Could you stream the first Resident Evil game? Just throwing suggestions out there, Rain.
You know what? Maybe I should give you a list of some obscure gems you might want to fuddle around with.
Maybe.
Ones that the audience isn't too familiar with.
Oh, I love obscure stuff.
You guys hear about that new Sega Genesis Mup game that's coming out? It's the largest one ever made. Pure Solar HD was Pure Solar was previously the got a new contender.
I know a few obscure Sega Genesis games. Soldiers of Fortune, ever hear of that one?
AKA the Chaos Engine?
Yeah, that one.
Yes. That's a damn good gauntlet-like shooter.
Yeah, I love it. Childhood right there.
Amiga for life!
And then there's the Jurassic Park game for the Sega Genesis.
AKA the game that made Harlan Ellison hate video games.
Wait, what?
One of the reasons why he made I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream as a video game was because one time, you know, he's not a hip and current guy. He kind of was already out of fashion by the time the 90s kicked around. And he was basically annoyed that somebody was trying to tell him about the neat things about video games, and they got him, I think Jurassic Park for the SNES, and he just hated the experience. It's like they took this great novel, and all you're doing is running around shooting dinosaurs. That's pretty much the extent of his essay, but he said he wanted to make that game because he said, you don't have games where you lose or something, you know. It's just, like, the experience of him playing that, you know, playing a cheap licensed, you know, movie game, you know, pissed him off so damn much. That's like the first thing that he plays is like a licensed video game, you know, instead of something
Who licensed
original.
those? The fucking Jurassic Park games, I forget. Was that EA who fucking published those? Who was the publisher?
I don't know, Sega.
Well, of course Sega co-published the game, the fucking platform. I'm talking about, like, fucking third-party publishers. There really was only two back then, like, namely fucking Activision and EA, or a couple others. But Ubisoft wasn't that big back then.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this funny video called "If Mario Was Published by Sega."
What was funny about it?
Well, Mario and Luigi are all buff and muscular.
Oh, sorry.
I just find weird stuff funny. I'm just trying to keep the conversation going, guys.
Dang it, I didn't want to drop that.
When I let Rain on the show I do, I suggested that he do Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door, or any of the Paper Mario games. Running a little low.
Also,
on
I just wanna throw this out there. Fuck the Oscars.
I don't blame you. I don't even watch the Oscars or the Emmys or the Academy Awards or whatever.
Nah, you don't get the joke. You don't get the joke apparently.
Oh.
Game Awards reference. Don't worry about
Sorry.
it.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
We got the Tommy Wiseau video game. That's all I need to know.
I thought you were talking about the obnoxiousness of the celebrities that get on
There it
those.
Oh no, I was talking about, but it was in reference to a video game developer who got fucking interviewed by Jeff Keighley and drunkenly swore at the camera saying, "Fuck the Oscars! Fuck you! I kill you!" and then put the middle finger up to the camera.
Oh.
It was great. And Jeff Keighley was just cringe. He's like, I just lost every single advertiser ever. That was the look on his face, like, I'm ruined.
Oh, Rain, how do you get money in this game?
Drops.
By the way, Rain, do you still talk to John? Out of curiosity, or not really? No?
He hasn't been around.
I heard a rumor that he got kicked out of his house. That was months ago, mind you. That's the last thing I ever fucking heard about him. I just figured I'd play that joke because Virate came into GGP saying, John Kelly's on this fucking whatever Discord server, and it's like, oh, no he's not. I don't even use Discord that much, and I knew that everybody in that room was not John. They'll just fucking shitlords.
Where's Flawed? Working?
Work, yeah. Crap.
So what's the plot of this game, Rain?
I don't know.
It kind of reminds me of The Link to the Past.
Yeah, it's similar to Zelda, but they made some improvements.
Anyway, Rain, I gotta go. Great being on here.
Same, man.
User disconnected from your channel. User joined your channel.
Welcome back.
Thanks, just had to do a quick reboot. And update my card, so... Now! One thing that surprised me is you lost a lot of people.
Yeah, well, it's not too bad. We got a complaint that too many people on the last stream, so...
Yeah, I could understand. I was trying to get in words. Maybe it's because I was trying to get in words and edgewise, and like Bill just cock blocks you.
Well, you weren't the only one.
But then I was probably cock blocking some other people too. Everyone was cock blocking everyone else. That's a nice thing to point out in the chat. Somebody complaining about Latter-day Paradox and their DLC practices. Yeah. Look at it this way. They didn't get to the stage, Valet, where they were about to introduce loot boxes. Oh, sorry, introducing loot boxes as the DLC.
I thought you were a coyote.
Ah! Well, you're probably going to be their bitch for the sequel to Mountain Blade. That's what you're going to be the bitch for. In fact, that's one of the... I think Mountain Blade's one of the few things that Paradox released that didn't get DLC'd out the wazoo.
Nah,
I mean,
just a couple expansions.
Yeah. Because, I mean, my only concern with, like, with Mountain Blade 2 is, are they going to de novo the fuck out of it? I hope they don't. I'd rather they not do that.
How they deal with, Pillars of Eternity.
That I don't know. I mean, they did release it as DLC free on GOG, so...
Well, yeah, they'd be crazy not to. That's where a lot of the computer RPG fandom is.
Oh! Oh! That's interesting, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, for the longest time, what was the game? Planescape Torment was the best seller on the platform. Oh, hey, Wormwood.
Oh, Oh! Oh yeah, so now you get possibly the new version. Are they? They're doing the remake of not remake, but the remaster of Planescape.
Yeah, that's already out. That's why it isn't the bestseller anymore, because they re-released it.
Okay. Now the question is, how much did Beamdog try to pause it up, or did they learn their lesson the last time?
They're still releasing DLCs for the other one, Baldur's Gate.
Ah, so basically they're only pausing at the Baldur's Gate one, but they're not fucking with Planescape Torment because they know what the reaction would be, I guess.
I don't know.
But then again, now that I think about it, one of the advantages about let's say about Planescape Torment is it's one of those games that sort of could run on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because of just how non-resource intensive it really is. I mean, I have my copy of it at home, much like I have like an original copy of Deus Ex. That's one thing I actually noticed so far this year is that up in my neck of the woods, in Kazakhstan land right now, there's a lot of 90s PC games that are now showing up at a lot of thrift stores at the moment.
User joined your channel.
So, I think it's just that because it's easy to just, you know, in an age of where storage is cheaper than water, it's you know, you can, you know, you can easily make your old rips and copies from your original physical copies, and then you can just put them out into the thrift bins. Like I found a full copy of Mecha Warrior 4 Vengeance for like $2. But the question is, I have to read up on how to run it because it's like the 90s was such an interesting time that you'd have some games that could just literally run on frickin' anything, like Doom, and others that were just so goddamn system specific that you know, you would just spin an arm and a leg trying to figure out what specific frickin' configuration does this thing want. Ah! Oh, chaotic hands. Oh, chaotic hands comment is perfect here. Also, what would a loot box unlock in EU for? You've got the rare drop of the Kingdom of Bohemia. Oh no, I got Yemen again. Well, I think I have one idea about how the loot boxes would sort of kind of work, what you would get as rewards, but it would either be hero units or, I don't know, refugee units that you could throw at the enemy to mess with their economy or something. Just curious about those green dudes, because they look like the water buffalo guys from the Flintstones.
You think so? Well, that did nothing.
Try telepathy.
Tried it already.
Blade is one of those games that just keeps on giving. If you reinstall it like a year or so later down the line.
Your mic's still on.
So at this point, what are you grinding for?
Better armor.
Ah,
Also looking for some kind of flute. Okay, I got him to fall asleep. Wait, hold on, I think that's a bug. And the statues, I'm not supposed to be able to have them go to sleep. I think, let's see. Okay, let's try this. Nope. Alright, let's check the guide. What am I supposed to do? I haven't gotten to Faxanadu yet, but I do want to play that one.
No. Go beyond Faxanadu and play the one that's in the Japanese. See, Faxanadu is part of the Japanese series known as Dragon Slayer. So what you should do is get the one game that's called the Drazel family. I forget what its original name is in English. It's the one where it's a side scroller that is like, you know, you think latter-day Metrovanias? No, this is like an Iceberg-vania, where you basically select out of 12 characters, like this entire Dragon Slayer family. You're supposed to go off and slay this dragon, but it's like crazy. It's a crazy, mazy platformer game. Let me see if I can remember the name here. Oh yes, now I remember. Legacy of the Wizard. Yeah, now I remember. It's the game that's Legacy of the Wizard on the NES, aka Dragon Slayer 4 Drazel Family.
Okay, there we go. Now I'm getting somewhere. I can just figure out where.
Wait, what game are we? Or what game are you guys talking about?
A Legacy of the Wizard for the NES.
Oh,
Like, I just linked the article there in our chat if you want to take a look. But also take
Yeah,
a look
I
at
was
the
looking
game
at it.
map.
wow, that map's pretty big. It's the fucking for the NES.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
You sure we're not talking about the SNES?
No, that's for the original NES.
Wow, that's a pretty big map for a machine that was released in 1986. God damn.
Wow, that was really archaic. How in the world was anyone supposed to figure that out? Like, you gotta go back and forth between the fortune teller and the queen. And then you finally go back behind the throne room, and then she gives you the flute that she could have given you this whole time.
Fluted.com.
Like, what was the point of all that?
Point is, she was probably using the flute and had to wash it before giving it to you. So she sent you off to do something else.
She used the flute like that chick from, was it the American Pie movies? I'd have given you this flute, but I used it this one time when I was at band camp.
Wow.
Now the question is, how many people in the live chat right now even get that joke?
Probably very few.
Oh, wonderful. The enemies are immune to both my attacks. Well, the flute is gone, so I can't save him that way. I don't know what the shield ring does, but hopefully it's useful.
You know what this is reminding me of? There's a anime remake that came out this year called Mahojin. I'm not even pronouncing this right. Guru Guru, yes.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Nah, I
What is
kind of
it?
want to know.
Let me put it this way. I find my two-finger sources, but
Yeah.
let me say this. It is legitimately charming and genuinely entertaining in a way that a lot of shows this year... let me put it this way. It's for a remake, it's very charming, because it's basically they took a 52-episode series and basically make this really fun, kind of charming, Japanese kids comedy about RPGs, and it's basically all killer, no filler, and it's really earnestly heartwarming at times for a parody.
I'll have to check it out. Oh hey, it's Shamblo. Oh yeah, that's why it turns me into stone, okay. You ever read that one, Fab? Crap! No, no, no! That means I lost him. Well. Hey, let's go. What Atari flashback game? You mean the collections? Well, you're describing at least a dozen games there. Well, what do you mean? Yeah. Wait, don't tell me you bought that. You realize how easy a complete ROM set for the Atari is to find, right? And it comes with all the prototypes and all the games that are the third-party ones too.
In contrast, do you know how hard it is to find a physical Atari set is? I mean complete, as in every single game that was ever officially released for the Atari 2600. Yes. There is such a thing. Most games you
Oh,
can
okay,
find.
never mind. You got it for free. Yeah, I gotcha. Man, you pay how much money for the PlayStation 4, and then you buy a bunch of Atari games for it. So I'm going to talk. I bought the PlayStation 3 and then bought the Genesis collection for it. So, man, I don't know what I was thinking. Though on the plus side, it was the first time I played Shining Force and the sequels to Streets of Rage. So. Wormwood asks, is Crystalis gonna be in Ready Player One? Well, gosh, I hope not. You know, the more I play this, the more I see the wisdom in Legend of Zelda not having a leveling system.
Well, simple. It's because of that grind, which, well, you see, it depends, right, on how you do the grind. For instance, I play Grim Dawn a lot. I used to play Torchlight a lot, and the grind in those games was kind of interesting. The problem with, I think, with Crystalis is that its grind is not as interesting. Nope. So in the case of, say, Grim Dawn, there's lots of fun with crowd control and shit. Especially if you have any characters that do spells. And
Be right back.
And they're not full, pure fighter builds. Whereas in, I'd say, Torchlight 2, a lot of the fights you sort of get into, there's not as much of a variety of enemies. But you get all sorts of interesting sort of techniques and movement options. In Crystalis, it's a little too kind of flat. It's kind of like playing Yes for the first time, and you end up being exceedingly bad at it because you realize that the combat system in like the first couple of Yes games was just you being slightly off-center to the other guy and then just ramming yourself into them, which is the entire fighting technique. And it feels unimpressive because you're like going, but I've seen games on the 8-bit console that at least show your character reacting or doing something to show that they're fighting something, so it feels a bit weird.
Yes, I didn't mind as much because you got used to the combat after a while, and this, it's just, I might as well be firing a magic wand at them. Like, just because of how the way that the sword fighting is just isn't that good. So I'm using the magic attacks because it doesn't cost me any magic unless I hold it down the whole time, so there's no reason not to. I haven't played Guardian Legend yet.
You need to play Guardian Legend.
Okay.
Just because, as I say, it's one of it's made by the same guys that did the Xanac games. Yeah, basically the Xanac games. No, Compile. Yeah, it's made by Compile. Some guys who do Xanac and those Puyo Puyo games.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No! Arrgh! Okay, I didn't lose too much. Oh hey, this game did jumping before The Legend of Zelda did. Wait, no, it did it. Did this one come out before or after Zelda 2? Because obviously it came out after Link's Awakening. Or no, before Link's Awakening, I mean. Does this game predate Star Tropics?
Actually, I believe Crystalis does predate Star Tropics.
Something the matter?
Hmm?
No, Leslie, you forgot about Wanda Gamelon. No. You're forgetting Wormwood, you're forgetting Mario is missing. That's the best Mario game.
Cack.
Oh, interesting. I am Masina, one of the three great wise men who will aid you. Okay. Yes, finally, I don't need the antidotes anymore. Alright, I guess I gotta go all the way back and buy one. I mean, they said there was a queen and a fortune teller before, so... I mean... that brings up a few new questions, if Athena is a man's name, I guess. Okay, who was yelling at me to get the shell flute? Hey, it's QQ.
Oh
Buddy
shit.
joined your channel.
Hey, QQ, how's it going?
There's my nigga.
I'm glad we're not on Twitch.
Yeah, we're on a worse platform, aka YouTube.
Has someone already read Wormwood's last comment? Or
I
should
don't
I read
know.
it out?
Don't read it out.
What
in
the
your current
fuck is
voice.
wrong with your voice?
Well, here's what I'll say, Wormwood. It's not. Because you see... Mario, he's a K-type sort of man. Look. Bears, they're R-type people. That's the big difference. You know, and Mario, he's a man who's assertive about the women in his life. I mean, look at it this way. He broke it up with Paula, and there's, like, been no issues about it whatsoever. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you can just see him Mario
yeah,
just
he
say,
still plays tennis and golf and
QQ,
goes
you sound
kart
like
racing.
Satan.
What?
QQ sounds like he's got a
Say,
voice
remember?
changer.
Oh, am I roboting?
No, you just sound like
You
Satan.
sound like you got a voice changer. You got real deep. It's like your balls finally dropped for the first time in your life.
No, I think I have a problem here. Let me see.
I think it's because maybe there's like a delay or something, and it's super slow. You have to understand, Wormwood, that the vast majority of Nintendo's characters are K-types. That's what makes them
No,
the heroes
my
that
mic's
they are.
fine.
Then what's wrong with your voice?
What do you mean? What's wrong with my voice?
You sound like
Sound
your
even saggier
balls
than usual.
No, it's because I'm so close to the mic. I bet that's what it
Like-
is.
Then get
No,
it
it's-
further away. You sound like you're a deep bear faggot who's like going to fucking body wrestle Rain to the bedroom or some shit.
I don't know
Really?
what that could be. Here, let me try an experiment. How do I sound now?
A little better.
Better.
Alright, I'm gonna try and experiment in a little bit. That was just me moving my mic further away, that was it.
What mic are you using?
It's the Samsung mic, the Go mic.
I don't even know what Go mic is.
You have to understand, the only mic Templar uses is the potato mic.
Well, it says you sound like you have a cold. Velvet says you sound like
My
Yogi
mic.
the bear. No, QQ.
My mic is just fine. It's a simple gaming mic, and that's why I sound like the lesbious Mike Cernovich faggot who's gonna sell you some of his gorilla mindset, and then he's gonna sell you his ketamine supplement line, Gorilla Brain Force.
So in other words, it's a gaming mic with emphasis on the gay.
Actually, no, I got one step better, Templar. Now, it's basically, I'm Mike Thurman, and I'm here to sell you my Gorilla Bitcoins. The ultimate and masculine currency available in crypto.
I'm still waiting for fucking Torbis to actually launch the Gab crypto protocol. I mean, I know you could, like, buy in at, like, Start Engine, but I'm like, I want to see a wallet, and I want to see the coins, Torb.
Well, this is what I usually use in my videos. This mic.
Oh. You sure you don't have a sound changer on it? It really sounds like you're using a voice
User joined your
changer.
channel.
Hi,
Oh.
Bill.
Hold on.
No, I don't.
So, Bill, no, I was telling you to buy Litecoin back when it was 100 or below 150.
Give me a second. Can't hear you.
Okay.
Rather, I think Bill doesn't want
me a
to hear
second,
the
I need to
bad
put my
news you're
headphones.
about to tell him.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
back.
gonna ruin Bill's day today.
Oh, let's have
You
it.
know how I was telling you
Star Wars is
that
crap.
Litecoin?
That doesn't
Okay.
ruin
That goes
anyone's
without
day. Everyone
saying.
expected
I
that.
was gonna say, you know, remember Bill when I was telling you to buy Litecoin when it was like $100 to 120?
It's like now
It's
500
at
though.
250.
Hey.
All my shekels!
Right in the shackles.
Okay, so how do I sound now?
A little
Little
better.
weirder.
Okay, so it's a combination of being close to the microphone and lying on my belly makes me really deep.
Okay, sit up then. Why you lying on your belly?
Face down,
Because it's
ass
good for
up.
my back.
Oh, because, as we've established, the Puka is in fact a lispy faggot like I keep alleging he is.
What? What?
I love how he just is like, why you keep bringing that up? You know I'm sensitive about this!
I don't actually have a lisp.
He says with a lisp.
I don't know.
You have to
Oh.
understand, QQ, the more Fab gives me shit over potatoes, the more I give you shit over being a faggot.
Everyone gets shit on. Oh god, my spine. Oh fuck, I gotta go to the chiropractor tomorrow.
And that is a disturbing realization.
Ugh. Ugh.
Anyway, back on my belly. Back to deep mode.
That's what he said.
Okay,
That's what he said.
what we need to do is now, Bill, you need to play like the gayest porno music you have right now.
I don't have any.
God damn it, Bill! I would have figured you of all people would have some.
I don't. I don't have music on my laptop. I have video games. I got Sonic.
Start playing the Human theme.
And I say, hey,
Hey, Dan, why do you never charge it up to 3?
Huh?
What?
Because it
Why do you
costs
never
magic.
charge it up to 3? That's what I thought. Okay.
I mean, I can
And why
now, I
would you
just don't
waste-
have any magic.
Why would you waste
Believe in
magic when you use that to
magic.
heal
It doesn't
mostly?
give
In a
me...
young girl's heart.
If I charge it to 2, it doesn't cost me magic, but it does if I charge it to 3.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't, but okay.
No, it makes perfect sense. 2, you're just using the magic innate within the weapon. 3, you're using your ring, which requires augmentation from your own mana. Or magic points, whatever they call it.
Oh boy. Oh.
See, I can make mythologically consistent stuff.
Brandon Sanderson should hire you.
Wait, isn't he working on the Wheel of Time books now?
He finished. Yep, the whole series, the whole 15-book series is done. It's been done since 2013, and he finished it just the right time. He finished a year before Gamergate. Come on!
Or oh,
Oh crap, I can't teleport.
don't die. So Litecoin's at 250. Fuck.
Don't worry, it's only mooned to 250 because the fucking founder of the Litecoin blockchain, Charles Lee, Charlie Lee, basically he went on shows like CNBC, Glenn Beck, and other shows and shielded to normies while talking about Bitcoin futures that launched today and yesterday.
Oh.
So, are you saying that this is a sell signal?
I'm saying that it depends, because I don't know if you should sell, because realistically, I think it's going to stay above $100 at least for the next couple of months, but...
Yeah,
This
but I bought
could
in
just
at like
be the breakout.
101.67.
Hmm?
Bought in at 101.67.
Huh.
Hey Q, who should I be following on Twitter that talks about cryptocurrency?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so many scammers who just
Yeah, I know.
multi-level marketing
Just
people. It's a
I'll
fucking
tell
pain
you
in the
who
neck.
you shouldn't follow. You shouldn't follow the guy who goes by the name of Crypto King, because he's a fucking faggot who never delivers. But yeah, I mean, me, Bacon, and a couple other folks will talk shop about crypto all fucking day. You can just ask. But
And
what
if you want
wanna
some
know
crypto to play
specific-
around with, just like to mess around with and have fun, I'll send you some Dogecoin if you want it. Just get a wallet.
I have a wallet. Throw me
Doge
your
is
coins.
honestly the best. I'm gonna say it. Doge may be a joke coin, but it's surprisingly not a bad investment choice.
Doge coins.
I can't believe those words left my mouth, but they have. Because it does moon every once in a while, and it retains its value for long periods of time. Of course, then again,
Yeah,
this thing
Doge-
can be...
Doge is funny because it tends to stay stable with respect to Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes up, Doge goes up too. But then there's some bizarre circumstances where for some reason people get excited about Doge all of a sudden and it exceeds its normal price relative to Bitcoin. And then it's like, oh, well then, buy low, sell high, I guess.
Yep, the same can be said for coins like Digital Note or fucking Bitbean.
I don't know. I don't think I could with honor buy Bitbean after seeing it shilled so much. Oh my gosh.
It's only shilled because it's true and there's filthy Pidgeots that want to let go of their bags.
I've used almost every gold and silver dealer that ships to the US. I can tell you both JM Bullion and AppMax will actually deliver things to you at the price that they have on their site.
Nice.
Neither of them are scams.
I'll keep that in mind. I kind of want to buy myself a Roman gold coin.
Also, I've tested some of their silver using ring testing, and it's absolutely genuine. So,
oh, ow.
So here I am tonight, while you guys are chatting over Bitcoins and testing out the lovely little thing that I won at the Christmas party. Do you know that there's a thing called waifu or laifu?
What?
what?
It's a silly little app made by the Tale of Tales guys. You know, the same guys who did Barkley, Shut Up and Jam? So basically...
Wait, Tale of Tales?
Yes.
Not Sunset.
Not Sunset, no.
Okay.
Like, I'm talking about the same guys who did, yeah, it is kind of
You mean Tale of Games. It's Tales of Games.
Tales of Games,
gotta...
yes, that's what I meant to say, yeah.
Wasn't that the one about the chick in the fucking South American Revolution or some shit like that that turned out to be a housemaid? And you're just doing chores?
Yeah, that's the Tales of Tales, not the Tales of Games guys. The Tales of Games guys are the ones who made the waifu or laifu thing. Where you just like, they throw random anime chicks, and you select whether or not which is the waifu or the laifu one.
Well,
What is laifu?
It's kind of like a higher echelon of waifu.
more waifus, more misery.
So, Templar, APMEX, AppMax, does sell Roman gold and silver, but keep in mind, if you buy Roman gold, you're going to be out about $9 grand.
I know, but I'm talking when I actually have that, or throwing that kind of money on something is like nothing to me. Because I just want to say I own a Roman gold coin.
Roman silver is much cheaper. You can get up around $200.
Hey, silver's always a good investment.
Maybe
Well,
mine.
in that case, when you're talking about old Roman coins, you're not so much talking about their weight as much as their numismatic value.
As in
No one's gonna-
collectibles.
Yeah, no one's gonna melt down their, no one's gonna down their Roman coin and sell it for scrap.
Of course not.
Oh, shit.
Still, though, I need to get myself a Roman coin. I then need to figure out if I can buy Nazi gold somewhere. And then I need to buy myself an authentic shekel that's made in silver to ward against the Rothbards.
You mean the
No.
Rothschilds?
Why do you want
Both!
to...
I
Wait.
mean both! I need a thing that can ward against that shit.
Okay,
Bro.
here's the thing I'm going to ask. Why do you want specifically Nazi gold?
Because why not?
Because for the same reason I want a Roman gold coin, so I can say I
Are you
own
gonna
some.
Are you gonna buy Hitler's candy bowl too?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they actually made gold Reichsmarks. I know they made silver Reichsmarks because they're for sale on eBay. As for silver shekels are really easy to get, especially if you want to get new shekelims. You can get silver new shekelims for really, really cheap. Almost melt
User
value.
disconnected from your channel.
Nice.
I actually have some silver with Baron de Rothschild face on it.
It's there to ward yourself against the fucking Jew magic.
I knew it! I knew it! Illuminati confirmed!
You know,
You heard it here, folks.
yeah, you know, it's so funny you mentioned Illuminati because I was hanging out with this chick a couple days ago, and conspiracies did come up, and In the middle of conspiracy theory and chill, things did get a little Illuminati. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well,
Roboting.
yeah, placebo, fix your shit. But then again, I don't know why we would expect a purple lizard to be able to work an internet thing.
Pink. He's pink.
Pink, purple.
Is he a purple dinosaur?
I thought he was a girl at first.
It don't matter because pink or purple, he's still going in the gas chamber.
Yeah, I don't know why you say that thirst gives me a Twitter advantage when you yourself have such an adorable avatar.
Huh?
Placebo.
Oh.
Wow.
So yeah, here's a question: why is the new Star Wars shit?
Apparently, a bunch of spoilers got leaked.
Yes.
Remember when
it really
fucking-
pissed me off.
I have not heard of them. I don't really care because I've already resolved I'm not going to see this one because I'm done.
Does anyone mind if I
Go
talk
for
about it? I can talk about it. What about in the chat? You guys mind?
Do it. If you don't like it, now's the time to get out because we're spoiling Juju Abrams' The Last Jedi.
We'll give one.
Whoa!
I was gonna say, the one thing I'll spoil because I don't give two shits about it is you can run out of force.
Yeah.
A person
What?
can run out of force.
Guess how Luke dies.
He runs out
Because
of
he
force.
uses the Force and it literally sucks out his life.
Wait, hold on.
force.
No, that isn't stupid. That's what happened to Palpatine in Episode 3.
What?
Well,
What?
Oh. okay, can someone just go ahead and explain what's going on then?
You remember in Episode 3 when he suddenly gets really, really old?
No, he
That-
got old because
Because
fucking...
of the lightning. Because he
Yeah,
ran out
and
of
Because he
face.
shocked his own face.
No, he shocked his own face, bruh.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
because he ran out
Windu
of
was
force.
basically deflecting the
Oh,
fucking-
I see what you're doing there.
No, come on, that's actually pretty awesome. In that context there,
No,
and then that
That's
explains...
not what happened. That's not what happened at all.
It's
Matter
like
of fact, what happened was, during that fucking fight with Mace Windu and shit, his lightning got turned back on his ass because he shot himself in the face. And then you actually saw him, after the lightning shot him in the face, get all wrinkly and crankly. And then, fucking Anakin was like, oh, I'm gonna throw this dude out the window. And then, yeah, the rest of the movie happened.
No, Anakin cut off his arms, and then Palpatine, as a fucking vengeance against Mace Windu for ruining his beautiful, beautiful face, then just zapped his ass and threw him out the window.
Yeah, exactly. And so that wasn't, oh, I ran out of force. That was, oh shit, I shot myself in the face. That's what happened.
Anyway, can we just go ahead and get back to The Last Jedi and why it's stupid? Come on,
So,
Rain,
Luke,
drop all the spoilers.
Yeah,
drop
Luke
all
died
of
because
them.
he runs out of force.
That's
Also,
stupid.
Kylo Ren tries to convince Rey to turn to the dark side, but then she doesn't.
No shit.
That's kind of gimme, but all right.
That's a
What
gimme.
else? Finn tries to do something, or no, either Finn or Poe, I can't remember, does something, and then Leia doesn't like it and kicks him out of the resist. Oh, I'm Midnight Blaze. We're spoiling the Last Jedi.
Yes, we're gonna spoil the shit out of this movie. So let's.
Yeah.
Not that I give a fuck, because none of y'all should pay to see it. Stop giving Disney your money. Start actually delivering on the fact that the crystal gems should not be allowed to make money off of the non-crystal gems. Anyway, continue.
But how is Howard gonna pay for that giant jade hand?
I don't care. That's not my problem.
Nah.
But yeah, so Luke runs out of force. That's interesting.
It's retarded.
I think he was saying interesting the same way the British do. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, okay, in that sense, sure.
Oh, well, yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, okay, so what other interesting bits of stupidity do we have to look forward to in the Last Jedi?
I'm trying to remember.
Matter of fact, where are my spoilers? Somebody give me a link to spoilers.
Leia does not die, so she's apparently supposed to be in the next movie, even though Carrie is dead.
So what we're going to be treated to is a voice actor portraying her, and someone uses CGI to
do that.
What?
Yeah, they're gonna do some heavy rewrites, and it's gonna be pretty noticeable. What I'm guessing is the orange female.
They're gonna get
Granny
the
Yoda.
actor who played Jar Jar Binks, where
no, it'll be no, it'll
Princess
be
Leia suit, and then they're gonna CG her on top of him.
I don't remember her name, but you remember the orange old lady Yoda?
Yeah.
That's gonna be. She's gonna take the place of Leia. That's what I think is gonna happen. I don't know for sure. That isn't confirmed. That's just me speculating.
Like, I can't give Disney shit on that front because plans kind of got fucked. So, well, here's Plan B.
Hi, Varg. We're spoiling The Last Jedi. Do you mind?
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go see it.
Good man, good man.
Luke dies because he runs out of force. Apparently, the force is your mana bar, and if you run out of it, you start using your life bar in its place, and Luke just had to keep using it. He couldn't just stop using the force for a fucking turn, rest up to get some mana back. He couldn't just, start slashing things with his lightsaber, apparently.
Okay. No, hold on. Templar, can you go in the video that I linked in the DM group? And then just
I'll go look for it. I'll get
click on the link in the click on the link in the description. It'll be right there.
Are you riding
Then
on
you
a
can
cute
just-
cartoon
yes.
dolphin right now?
Yes.
Okay,
you
so
can just read the forum post.
give me.
I will find goddamn source.
I'm looking. I mean, I'm on.
Goddamn source. Don't worry, Will. I've got the link. I'm just waiting for it to load its shit.
Alright, so we know Luke dies because he ran out of mana. Okay, alright. What else have we got?
The movie ends with them all on the Millennium Falcon. Oh, Rey loses Luke's old lightsaber. So she doesn't have that at the end of the film. They're gonna go get Luke's new green lightsaber.
Warning, spoilers.
Oh, and one other thing I was gonna add.
Yo,
basically,
I want to know
Rey
one fucking
doesn't
thing,
do
right?
much.
I want to know one thing. Why did upon Han's death did the Millennium Falcon pass over to Rey? That's doesn't belong to her. It belongs to Chewbacca. What the fuck is this bullshit? Chewbacca's not a part of the goddamn...
Okay, I got the link, I got sauce, I got shit.
Before you start spoiling, I want to say something.
Nobody archived this.
Before you start spoiling, I want to say something. They could have taken that in an interesting direction and had... If they had spent more time on it, they could have maybe had Rey be like an actual... pupil of Han's, have Han Solo mentor her. That could have been interesting. The problem is they only had one movie to do that.
I'm gonna be...
Because in New Hope...
have a better answer.
In A New Hope, they established that Luke and Ben Kenobi have been together for a long time. They did not do that in The Force Awakens, and so...
They didn't do that. They just said, they mentioned, in the New Hope when Ben Kenobi came up, there, that was more like a, hey, isn't that, Obi-Wan, isn't that old hermit that's kind of hanging out in the desert? There wasn't any real, hey, Luke and, me and Obi go back ages. It was more of a, I know of that guy. The implication was that random neighbor that stays the fuck in his cave.
Did you hear? Did you watch the
I
scene
wonder if
where
he
they're
means
talking?
old Ben.
Well, clearly
Old
what we
Ben,
need-
not Benjamin, implying that they have something of a close relationship. I mean, when you're, let's say, okay, Luke is about 19 years old, we'll say, because he's old enough to leave, but not old enough to go out on his own, really. So that means he's a lot younger than Obi-Wan Kenobi. So for him to call him by his first name and not just Mr. Kenobi or Kenobi-san or whatever they have as an honorific in...
Kenobi Dono.
Yeah, whatever they have in the honorific. The fact that he's calling him on a first-name basis, Ben, not Mr. Kenobi, but Ben, shows that they have a very close relationship.
Old Ben Kenobi.
Well,
and Uncle...
Doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if we're talking about Luke and Ben Kenobi's relationship, can I just go ahead and just point out that Ben Kenobi comes back as a Force ghost to continue to give Luke advice?
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen
User
in,
channel timed out.
Han Solo isn't gonna come back, but Luke is.
Oh my god, I'm not looking forward
Actually,
to that.
actually he isn't dead then. That's why he dies, because he's doing the Force Ghost thing, and that zaps him of all of his Force energy.
I have a better
Wait.
answer.
So clearly we've all forgotten episode 4 far too much. We should all watch the rebuilt edition.
No, we should not watch the
No, the
rebuilt edition.
silver screen edition from the 35mm film.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Well, you'll have to get that one because I only have the rebuilt ones. Because
I
the
will
new
find it, I will
It's
give it
10
to you,
gig.
and then you're going to put it someplace where we can
QQ.
all watch it.
Actually, no,
Don't
no,
worry,
you-
I will fucking... I
No,
will
no,
fucking
Templar, I'll show you. Templar, I will show you how to put it in a place where we can all watch it. So that way it's on your space and not
Got
mine.
it.
So, Kylo is Snoke? Ah.
Kylo kills
I don't
Snoke.
even know.
Oh, Kylo kills Snoke. Okay.
Remains dark at the end, blah blah. Rey is the last Jedi at the end, does not turn dark. Leia lives till the end. Luke dies at the end. Yoda convinces Luke to train. Resistance is in disarray at the end. A lot of humor that some fans will hate. This is apparently coming from a dude who went to a Last Jedi screening. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm calling some bullshit, but who knows? You know, it's a case of we had fucking Han Solo dying at the end of the fucking movie.
Wait a
leaked,
minute, no,
like,
hold on.
2 days in
The little,
advance.
the whatever they're called that look like Ewoks but uglier. Those
The
are triplets. Those are triplets.
Triplets?
Yeah,
The
the way that the way that user in the forum describes them, they're just like the
Tribbles.
Tribbles. Thank you. Why did I think it was triplets?
Because you're a fucking faggot.
Because
who
you
doesn't
want to
like
invent
his
a new
Star Trek.
term.
But in all seriousness, I'm just gonna come right out and fucking say it. You could have fucking touched up the Rey character just fucking fine by leaving it as is. And then in the next movie, you make her the most arrogant fucking character in the whole thing. She progresses real far in the Force. Luke tells her to cut her shit out. She basically tries to fucking cause some shit and he bitch slaps her. And then she's like, fine, I don't need this. And then goes and gets her ass kicked by Snoke. But you see, that would have required some actual fucking thought
User
on the
joined your
character they're building here.
But here's the punchline. What the fuck is the point of building up Snoke if you're just gonna automatically kill him right off away in the second film? So they basically
There is no
put it.
point. This is Juju
Yeah.
Abrams at it
So
again.
basically, what he did is he could have had an interesting villain, but in his typical fashion, it's like, nah, it's already Jabber.
Well,
It's like when Doomsday was created to fight Superman. It was Dan Jurgens doing what he always fucking did in the comics of the 90s, which was like, oh, I'll write up a jobber. Kids like jobbers, right? No, the jobber is only meant to be there so that the guy who you fight afterwards is 1,000 times better.
Well, see,
Yeah, he's doing the same thing
The
as
problem is,
No, no.
Doomsday wasn't a jobber.
Fab,
He
he's
was
doing the
pretty
same
much a
thing
jobber.
he did in
No, he wasn't. As a matter of fact, if
Guys,
anything, he would
It's
be
Lost
the.
again. J.J. Abrams created a question. Oh, who's this Snoke guy? And his answer is, I'm not going to tell you he's dead now.
Yeah, basically. The point,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: a jobber is literally there just to get his ass kicked by the superstar, whether it be Hogan or Cena or whatever. He's the guy you feed to Russo or Rusev. Rusev would be the guy Doomsday was. The guy pushed by the McMahon, if you will, as this big scary monster that's gonna fucking eat you. This guy go up against John Cena or basically is what that's Doomsday in a nutshell. Fresh face,
but here's
pimped
the
out to
reason
be
why
the end all be all badass, fighting up with the superstar, and the superstar gets his ass kicked. The monster gets his ass kicked. And the monster comes back after whatever reasons.
Well, not really. Let me tell you something. Do you wonder why nobody remembers Doomsday after that first appearance? Because of just how boring a jobber he was, right? The point of Superman, and this is going to be tacky, is, you don't have him get killed by a jobber. Like Darkseid. Not
What?
Darkseid. Not Darkseid, sorry. I meant to say
Darkseid failed.
No. I meant to
Doomsday.
say Doomsday. You don't have him get killed by a jobber like Doomsday. The punchline is Superman gets killed by Doomsday because Doomsday is a creation of Darkseid. That's
No,
more
he wasn't.
interesting. I
you
know
even-
he wasn't, but that's what I'm saying. He would have been a more compelling and interesting villain if the plot twist was, hey, it's this old bioweapon I built back when I was at war with Eugenesis and I just dumped it on Earth and, oh, it's gotten active again.
Well, here's the
I
thing
should
about
have turned
the.
that thing on. The problem is the scientists should have been, who created Doomsday, should have been a much bigger cosmic threat. And they didn't do that because, hey, it's Dan Jurgens. He's a lazy motherfucker. He doesn't know how to write interesting or compelling villains. And, well, let's be honest, the whole Death of Superman thing was like, there's hundreds of guys who could best kill him. The guy who should kill Superman, or who should break him, is basically Darkseid. Because he's got pretty much almost, well, with the exception of
Does
Flight,
being mentally broken
had-
count?
Well,
yes.
here's the thing, guys. You keep bringing up Darkseid and Superman, but that relationship was a invention of the Bruce Timm era show, which was a hell of a good invention.
Not quite.
Hey guys,
Bruce
I got
Timm.
a crazy idea.
Bruce
Let's
Timm
not
is.
kill Superman.
Well, here's the thing, right? The Doomsday Superman shtick, that's originally from the run that was done post-Crisis on Infinite Earth with John Byrne. And in his interpretation, he basically said, well, if Darkseid is that much of a power-level sort of god guy, and he's tussled with Superman once or twice, there were some things that he put into that Man of Steel run. Like, for instance, it was kind of hinted that Doomsday may have assisted with some bad elements on Krypton to cause his home planet to be destroyed. So there was a much tighter relationship that he sort of built. And I kind of like that. What Bruce Timm did is that he sort of refined one of the plot arcs from that particular run, where he basically...
Why do you keep saying Bruce Timm? It was Paul Dini.
Paul Dini and Bruce Timm worked
Paul
together on
Dini and
that.
Bruce Timm
Paul
worked
Dini
together.
did most of the writing,
Yeah, but
No, Bruce,
especially
yeah,
on
they
the
worked
Superman
together on
animated series.
Can I just go ahead and say that I miss the days when Superman was just holding a pitcher of water between Aquaman and some random dude dying of thirst in the fucking desert?
Batman.
yeah.
Wasn't a random dude, it was Batman. Nice try, you filthy casual.
I don't give a fuck, Derek. Can we go back to that era of Superman, Super Dick? Because I want that back.
Every so often, I would love to actually see that just pop up every so often in the mainstream, where somebody just gets on Superman's nerves so much he's like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with this guy. I would love to see Superman fuck with Guy Gardner.
But yeah, if we're talking about the whole who should kill Superman, I'm just like, why not the Dark Knight then? Or rather we do the fucking Dark Knight Returns all over again, because that was the only time anyone attempting to kill Superman had any impact.
Right, and that all that's here or there, but Superman being dead, that's been done to death. I mean, fuck that. I kind of wanted to see him retire in the hills with Lois.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That was actually one of the cool things that came up with Rebirth, when Superman from post-Crisis Earth came to the New 52. He was still there when that Superman was still doing his shit, but he was just chilling out with Lois with his kid. He was like, man, fuck this. I'm retired. They got a Superman. I'm just gonna stay at home, play with the kid. Lois is gonna go do all the work or some shit like that.
Wait, which came first, that or that movie, not Despicable Me, the other one about the supervillain?
Mastermind?
Megamind.
Yeah.
Megamind came first, actually.
Wait, did they really rip the plot off of that?
Megamind was great. No.
Wait, what?
You haven't
seen Megamind.
Superman died way before Megamind even was a twinkling in somebody's eye.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about,
Tiring.
Superman. Yeah, basically. I mean, Superman, after the, Flashpoint thing happened, there was a thing where Superman from Earth, post-Crisis Earth, somehow managed to get him, Lois, and his son Jonathan flung into that universe. And the Superman was watching it all happen, with what was going on in the New 52, and he's like, okay, this is in good hands. There's a Superman here who seems to know what he's doing. Nobody really needs me. I'm just gonna go fuck off somewhere in Kansas. Try to stay out of history's way, and then that Superman died, and he was like, fuck! Now I gotta come out of retirement. And that's the thing, I was really having fun with that, with that Superman, because you actually got to see him as Clark Kent fucking around with family shit. And that's the thing that kills me about most of these Superman books, is they don't bother with Clark Kent. They just say, oh, we're gonna follow Kal-El, or we're gonna follow Superman. I'm like, no, the Clark has a life.
Well, you see, I wonder if it's because some of the more illiterate folks actually believe in that stupid speech at the end of Kill Bill.
Yeah, and it's bullshit.
It is
Which
bullshit.
one?
The one Superman's Clark Kent is a critique of humanity, when really it's just Clark Kent, playing up the fact that he's more of a klutz than he really is, just to try and throw everyone off. Because he just because Clark's outfit was just a simple, I'm gonna wear a suit and tie, a hat, and a pair of glasses. AKA incognito for back in the day.
Well, you see, I'm more of the exact opposite. And that is, Clark is who Superman actually is the punchline. And that Superman is actually his disguise. And sooner or later, once in a while, even Lex Luthor, when he sort of figured this out later on, kind of understood. It's like, I can't just, even if I got his secret identity and leaked it, nobody would believe it. So, I can't just get his secret identity and he's over. I have to totally crush this guy. Like, totally. Like, if I say I can't just kill a person, I have to literally say I have to destroy them. Like, reputation and everything.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
And if I fuck this up, he'll come back at me with 4 to 5 times the support.
Right, and here's the thing that kills me about that. With, people, the thing about Clark Kent is, he is just a guy from Kansas who hangs out in the fucking bullpen and doesn't have his face plastered everywhere. So
I've always felt like if we take like Zack Snyder's interpretation of fucking Clark, that the way you actually make the Superman disguise work in the whole grimdark universe that's ultra realistic in this, it's give Clark a fucking thick accent. Like, make him sound like a hayseed from the Midwest while like Superman Batman talks in fucking perfect English.
Well, exactly. When he's Superman, he'd be like, "Oh, Miss Lane, now Lois, I don't think that would be a really good idea." Clark Kent. Well, golly, Miss Lane, I don't think that'd be a very good idea. Like small things like that.
But no, see, we gotta focus more on just desaturating the color of the suit even more than we already have.
I mean, the thing is, Clark Kent at work is kind of a disguise. Because Clark is not as, nowhere near that bumbling. He isn't that much, that much of a klutz. Because, if he were that much of a klutz, his fucking, apartment would constantly be trashed because he's tripping over shit and breaking his fucking couch. If Clark was...
I'm gonna have to go through that whole maze again.
Yeah, so if Clark really was, if the Clark Kent persona at the Daily Planet was Clark IRL, the man would be a complete and utter mess at home. The fucking Fortress of Solitude would be, a fucking pigsty.
It'd be destroyed. Let's get it right.
Now, Clark may not be the most graceful person on the face of the planet when he's just, chill, but he's not that much of a, bumbling oaf.
Yep.
I mean, the real Clark Kent that you know and love is the guy who, the real Clark Kent is the guy who goes back home to Kansas on the weekends because he doesn't have to fucking pay for, trains and shit like that. He can just fly and just go hang out with his mom and dad.
Well,
they'd be like, "Oh, hey, Ma, hey, Pa. Oh yeah, work was pretty cool this week. Yeah, got that Lois chick's number. I'm gonna be taking her out. We're gonna go dancing, Mama."
Yeah, but see, we can't actually have Superman be this normal, everyday dude because I gotta make my Jesus analogy. Even though Jesus kind of ate with the plebs.
I did, and
this is the saddest part. It's like, I gotta make the Jesus analogy of Superman. And it's like, you have no clue what the Jesus analogy would look like.
Yeah, and once again, that's the thing about Clark. He's just a guy.
No!
That's the thing that kills me about all these writers. It's like, none of these people know how to write a regular human being. I mean,
well,
he's not,
I can answer why that is, Bill, and I'm sure Fab will back me up here. Because we're dealing with faggots from the East and West Coasts that live in their equivalents of fucking Hollyweird and have no idea what a normal, average fucking human being actually is.
Right, and the thing is, there's so... Clark Kent is much more of a compelling character than anybody wants to fucking give him credit for. Because this is a guy who knows good and damn well that if he wanted to, he could literally destroy you just by flicking your nose without any sort of thought or control. Just be like, fuck you, boom, your head
But
shattered.
The whole point about why Superman is the way he is because of the way he was raised.
Had some decent parents.
He had decent parents, yes. Actually, some of the more interesting, like some of the better stuff that comes out of the spin-offs is when, Superman meets his surviving Kryptonians in one form or another. Like, in Lois and Clark, it turns out that there were enough survivors that they were living off on another colony. And then there's this bit where when he actually meets them in that show, he's kind of rather disappointed because of the way they sort of act. Like, they have no sense of humility. They're kind of brutal in their own personal relationships to each other, because they're kind of like even when they were living under their red sun, they were still kind of like a super intelligent group of people, but they're just that arrogant. And eventually when they say, oh, you've got all these powers and stuff because you're one of the few people who got mutated under Yellow Sun, I mean, why don't you come back home and fight for Krypton? And he promptly tells them, fuck off, no! You people are unbearable, I may be an alien here, but you have no respect amongst yourselves, and you have no self-respect, and you treat each other like shit! Like, oh!
I mean, that's the thing. I would kill to actually get my hands on fucking Superman. That would be, fun city for me. Because the thing about Clark is, he means well. He's not out to, he's literally, just wants to chill for the most part. Wants to do good. That's why he doesn't go on nightly patrol looking for a fight like Batman. He's, he'll go out flying just to clear his head, and maybe somebody might need some help. It's like if it's a slow night in Metropolis, he's flying around and he hears some kid saying, please get this kitty out of the tree. He'll be like, okay, sure, why not?
Yeah. But see, Bill, we gotta have our grim, dark reinterpretation, and I gotta deconstruct
and you know what?
this.
I can actually do that for you right now. Okay. The deconstruction of Superman. You have Clark Kent, who at a young age finds out that he is not only an alien, or not only an alien, but the last of his kind. For the longest time, he realizes that his strength puts him at odds with everything else. If he, so much as flinches wrong, somebody could, lose their jaw. So he always has to have that certain amount of control over everything he does. I mean, he can't let loose for 1 second. So, although he's a good kid, he's constantly just, keeps himself chained up, so to speak. Doesn't really, develop too many interpersonal relationships. The last time, the last person he actually had before, to relate to at one point was Lana Lang, and that was before he found out what he found out. After that, he just pissed about, trying to figure out life, the universe, and everything. Comes to Metropolis. He's like, okay, I'm a smart guy. I know how to write. I'm gonna do something to help the people by putting out the truth or whatever. Can't really talk to anybody because he doesn't really have the social skills, if you will, because he pissed about all these years going. Or let's say we go with the fucking first movie, the Richard Donner film. This dude basically, after Jonathan Kent died, went to the fucking North Pole and made the Fortress of Solitude and hung out there for decades as Jor-El was teaching him everything he needed to know. So this is a guy who didn't get out often. Kind of awkward around people. So that would explain why people would look at Clark Kent, this awkward, bumbling mess, and say, nah, there's no fucking way he could be Superman. Yeah, he kind of looks like him, but come on. That awkward hick? No way. And then you have those moments where he's at home, not flying around, not clearing his head, just brooding because he is utterly alone in the universe. He's the last of his kind. He can't relate to anybody. He can't actually have a physical relationship because if he thrusts too hard, he's going to break somebody's pelvis.
Okay, let me rephrase it. It's not that he's alone in the universe, but when he meets others of his own kind, it's not the same, per se. It's kind of like the reaction he has when he bumps into the guys from New Genesis. At first, he thinks that these godlike people could be his equivalent, but then he discovers they're just operating on this completely different level that he's not able to keep up on. And that's why, as I've always said, I think part of the charm about the way what Byrne started and what Dini and Tim sort of completed is the very notion that when he meets others that are literally his equal, they're always operating on a level that's beyond his kind of humbleness. So, I mean, that's why I always think that the whole Darkseid versus Superman conflict has always been kind of interesting from the animated series perspective, because we saw what happened at the end of Legacy, right?
Yeah.
He beats the ever-living tar out of it in front of his people and all that shit, you know, after he's been manipulated to fighting, you know, his adopted home. And in the end, everybody on Apocalypse just goes and, you know, picks up Darkseid, who's been smacked out really hard by this guy. And this is a guy whose willpower is strong enough to not get harmed by his Omega Sanction. Alright? That's the type of strength level that Superman is operating on. And, you know, basically, Darkseid just straight up tells him, hey, listen, you might be the Superman of Earth, but guess what?
Actually,
I'm a living fucking god, you son of a bitch.
I actually like the way that they did that in the show better. I am many things, Kal-El, but here, I am God. Just to show how fucking whipped the people of Apocalypse were.
Thank you, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Just wanted to know.
But yeah, I mean, you could do a lot with the Clark Kent character, just showing this guy who feels so completely out of place, you know, in his day-to-day life, so utterly alone. And then he meets Lois.
See, he could be alone for certain periods, but I think the other aspect of it is just another thing that they smartly did in the show is that over time he's not as alone.
Yeah,
like,
he
that
develops,
he
grows
yeah.
as a character, and you actually see him hang out more with Jimmy. You actually see him finally gather up the courage to say, Miss Lane, you want to go out for dinner and a movie sometime? Or some shit like that.
You know what was the best part in the DCAU? Is that Lois figured out that Clark Kent was Superman, but it was all done off screen. I thought that was really smart. It wasn't a big dramatic thing. It wasn't a gargantuan story arc. It's like she was smart enough to put it all together. You know?
You see, they never really actually touched on that, though, in any of the shows. You never really had that moment where, you know, it would have been really cool to actually have that moment where Clark, you know, finally gathers up the courage to say, Lois, I am Superman. To which Lois replied, yeah, I know. Are you going flying or what? I mean, little things like that would have been nice, but we never really got them, but for what we got, it was still pretty baller.
Well, no, see, I think the way they did it in the DCAU was perfectly fine. Because that was kind of like, because, you know, there were so many stories where people would always try to make it as a big dramatic thing, whereas by understating it, it sort of points out a sort of maturity that in the relationship between Kent and Lois. Like, it's that type of level of trust that you don't need to spell it out to everybody and then, you know, that, oh, they figured it out. It's more like, no, eventually, because of the trust that they have in the relationship, they do. It just is what it is.
Exactly. I mean, you figure, you know, Lois's mentality probably would be along lines of, he'll tell me when he's comfortable enough.
Mm-hmm. But see, it always goes back to the same fucking thing every time. I'm the mature adult. I'm going to deconstruct these superheroes. I'm gonna make my grim dark universe, and I'm gonna be an artist.
You know, here's the thing. I would, if you're gonna make Batman, you know, quote unquote, if you're gonna do realism with someone like Superman or Batman in that situation, first and foremost, you'd have to acknowledge that Bruce Wayne is basically the Donald Trump whose parents were killed.
Batman for president.
I would.
Exactly.
No, governor.
Just
Governor
make
Wayne.
Governor of Gotham City, and then he uses his political
Harley
power.
Quinn for Congress.
No!
Wait, Nancy Pelosi?
Brianna Wu.
Now, why you gotta be mean to Harley like that?
Dude, Harley is a cluster personality blonde chick. Bill, I think you've known more than enough times that you don't keep sticking your dick in crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Which is why it's hilarious how much DC tries to keep making her a hero. It's like, no, she's not a hero. She's supposed to be a warning sign for younger women. This is what happens if you get attracted to a crazy sociopath. It leads you to being in very bad relationships, ladies. Please don't do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You have all these chicks and dudes are like, oh yeah, I want to love like, Joker and Harley. I'm like, oh, so you want to be Ike and Tina.
So, Wormwood says Brianna Wu is the Joker.
Yeah, I can see it.
Brianna Wu is Batman.
No, Brianna Wu is the moth.
I forgot that she compared herself to Batman. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh no.
We need to mention this next year.
No. She's the Batman from the worst possible timeline where the superheroes are all blitheringly incompetent. She's actually Bizarro Batman. I figured it out.
Basically, she would be Batman if Garth Ennis was doing the writing.
Why not?
Blitheringly incompetent superheroes? Yep, that's a Garth Ennis book waiting to happen. Matter of fact, I think that has happened a couple of times under Garth Ennis's run, writing.
Here's the thing with Garth Ennis. If you see him doing superheroes, I think his stance is he's not against.
Garth Ennis is no Alan Moore.
Well, he's no Alan Moore.
That's a good thing.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say in defense. When he does certain types of classic hero, his general stance, and he's kind of mentioned it before, is he's not against superheroes. He's against how bad the support system is written around most superheroes.
So what does the paralyzed status effect actually do?
I can't get magic anymore.
Oh, okay.
Alright, when you say support systems around superheroes, please explain a bit more.
I guess what he means, maybe not so much support systems, but he means like the sort of repetitious kind of plot twists that don't go anywhere. That tends to bug him. So he wants a Superman who can do legitimately super things, but he gets kind of bored if it's like, well, why do you have to do an entire storyline about him stopping a bank robbery? That's what he does on the way to fight the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think I'd be more interested in seeing him get to the Tyrannosaurus Rex fight.
Or, here's an idea for a issue of Superman. Where, he's, Clark's gotta, meet up with Lois. He's got to do it, and, he's got to be there by 12:30 or something before Lois has to go to this fucking, staff meeting. And this is like when he's working in the fucking bullpen or some shit like that. He's like, okay, alright, shit, I woke up late. Alright, that's cool, I'm Superman. I'll just fly over there with my little suitcase, with a suitcase or a suit or something taped to my fucking back under my cape or whatever. And I'll just be right over there in a second. I can be Clark Kent, just like that. He's flying around. He's like, oh fuck, there's Intergang pulling a bank robbery. Shit, I need to handle that. Okay, alright, that took about 20 minutes. I still got time. Alright, I'm gonna go meet Lois. Oh fuck, there's a, gang of reptilians crawling out of the Earth's core going to wreck Metropolis. Fuck, I gotta handle that. Just like, everything possible to, get in this, basically delay Superman or some shit like that. And then, have the story end with him being there like 5 minutes late or some shit like that. And Lois is like, oh no, I've got the coffee. So how was your day? So how was your day, Clark?
That's the thing.
Lois, I tell you, it was... Yeah, I mean, you can have fun with these books.
Not everything needs to be Watchmen. Just have
I want to
have a single issue that I can just read and say, okay, that was fun, and then just move on.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, we need more shit like Prince of Power, if anything, when it comes to our comics.
But you see,
By the way, Dan, what
I
are you
can't-
grinding for?
I need to be level 11 before I can do damage to the boss. I'm almost there, though.
Superman shaving with his laser vision is what I want from Superman. Placebo, why?
Yes, actually, that could actually be a fun little bit. Just like, before Clark realizes he has to shave with the fucking his laser beams, have him just go to the fucking Dollar General and pick up some big razors. Every time he shaves, fucker just breaks.
He's like,
He's got to come into work a couple of days straight with a 5 o'clock shadow. Perry would give him shit, be like, you turn, you fucking, turning into a hipster or some shit? Are you gonna grow the beard, Clark? No, boss, not gonna grow the beard. Can't do it. I look horrible with a beard. Ironically, unbeknownst to everyone, he actually looks fabulous with a beard. But shit like that. I mean, if you're gonna do, a realistic interpretation or a deconstruction of what Superman would be like in the real world, just bear in mind he had some decent parents, and he's got a different set of problems than you and I. And be like, okay, we've all had those days where we picked up the cheap razor and it turned out to be, well, a cheap fucking razor. Imagine that, imagine you're fucking Superman. You get a fucking $50 razor from Walmart or something like that, thinking, okay, this can knock the beard off. Nope.
I don't know, I mean, everyone's done deconstructions to death at this point, especially with superheroes, ever since Watchmen.
So what you're saying is we need a deconstruction of deconstructions.
I mean, the thing is about these quote-unquote deconstructions is...
I'm gonna stop you for one moment here. We did get a reconstruction of it. Supreme. Alan Moore's Supreme is basically him making this giant apology for all the stupid deconstructions that he did over the years of Superman, and instead it's just him embracing all of the Silver Agey stuff. That's what he did in the latter half of his comic career, basically. With the exception of Promethea, he just said, you know what? I only did all these deconstructions because I was never satisfied with all the Silver Age comics I read that didn't seem to go anywhere with their plot arcs. And now I'm a bad man. So here's Supreme, where it's the most Silver Agey version of Superman, and I love it. It makes no apologies for it. It says, nah, fuck it. We'll just toss in all the goofy continuity stuff and just have it be fun. And then after it got taken over by Eric Larson, it became very unfun very quickly.
Yeah. And you could actually have fun with some of the more goofy shit from the Silver Age. For instance, I would actually like to see, if they ever did another Superman show, I'd like to see an episode where Superman gets hit with some sort of laser that speeds up his metabolism to the point where he has to constantly eat everything in sight, otherwise he's going to wither and die. Just to see if we can actually get that bit from the Super Dickory where he has a mountain of boigies waiting for him.
Yeah, they really should do a new Superman show, just because there's no interest in the character anymore, other than people who really liked it from when they read it as kids. There aren't children today that really like it in the same way that you have Batman really popular because of the Nolan films. Because I remember when I was younger and those came out, there were really little kids that watched them. You don't have that with the new Superman films. You just don't.
Yeah.
Because no one liked Man of Steel, and I'm gonna keep on hammering this point home that Man of Steel is pretty much where you can look to understand why the DC Cinematic Universe is fucked. Because all the problems in that film keep cropping up in every other film. Whether it's Batman v Superman, whether it's fucking Justice League, or whether it's fucking Suicide Squad, it's the same shit every fucking time. Yeah, it's not like Wonder Woman is much better, seeing as how they basically threw in the towel, said, "Fine, we're stealing from fucking Captain
Screw
America."
you, man. They improved on Captain America. And I
Kill
like Captain America, but Wonder Woman is a better movie.
I completely disagree for the simple fact of
which Cap film are we
First
talking
one.
here?
the first Avenger. If that's Wonder Woman, in a nutshell. Replace the Nazis with World War I Imperial Germany. Replace the Red Skull with some fucking chick who will create the super gas that kills everyone. And then just dress it up with fucking ancient gods. The only interesting part of Wonder Woman to me is how the fucking war god Ares basically comes right out and says, I didn't do anything that these people wouldn't have done on their own.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I just sped it along. And I'm like, yeah, now there's an interesting fucking thing.
Templar, I'm telling you, the romantic arc of Wonder Woman was done so much better.
I don't care about the romance. I really don't.
But it completely changes the movie, though. It makes it way better, because in Captain America, they screwed it up, because as they made, what's her name?
Carter.
They made Carter into
Oh, here we go with Rain's armchair analysis, as if I give a shit.
Okay, don't listen to me that.
No, you don't ever make a good argument. You just say, this is how it is because my Rev stuff.
Okay, here's the argument. You know, remember the scene where some chick comes up to Captain America and kisses him, and then she sees and gets jealous? That was stupid. Oh crap, I fell.
No, I don't remember this scene. You don't know the one fucking thing that I remember that came
all he had to do was just say, she kissed me, and then there you go. That's it, and then problem solved.
And I will just go ahead and note, I don't remember this scene, and the only thing... Can I finish? The only thing that I remember from the first Avenger that could come close to that, outside of maybe Captain's fucking sacrifice when he flies the Valkyrie into the ice, and when he's talking to Carter over the radio, is when he's in this bombed out house looking at this bottle of beer, and he's talking about how the super serum has made it so he can't get drunk. He's likely gonna live until he's 120, looking as youthful as he is right now, and how basically he's no longer a normal person and can never have a normal relationship. That's about all I remember for quote-unquote romance from the first Avenger. Because it wasn't about any of that! It was about fucking Captain going from
And why did they include it then?
Because Hollywood is full of retards! Do you not understand this? It's like these films are written by committee, and dear God does it show at times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as I was saying with regards to Wonder Woman, all they did is take the same fucking story, maybe dress up a little more romance on it, and change the fucking setting a little bit. And I still don't care, because it's still tied by the fucking neck to the weight stone that is the Zack Snyder DC Vision. And that's the biggest fucking problem. It's like, everything after Man of Steel has to be fucking thrown out the window. There is no salvaging it at this point. I mean, am I wrong in asserting this, Bill?
I think there is some, you can salvage it. Here's what you do for Man of Steel 2. Brainiac. Coming to Earth. He's gonna fucking steal your cities and blow up your fucking planet. Superman's gotta deal with this shit. Have a second villain as well. played by Peter Dinklage. And it,
You sure about two villains?
Brainiac is here to fuck up the planet. Mr. Mixie-Spitlick is there strictly to fuck with Superman, while Brainiac is there to fuck with the planet.
Okay.
Hilarity, action, romance, film that possibly has everything. In the hands of a competent writer, this could work. But, there's the rub of it now, isn't there?
Nobody involved in the DCU has any fucking clue what they're doing. And I'll keep saying it.
That was a duck.
Man of Steel is really the fucking film we can finger as the culprit to demonstrate where every fucking film in that fucking universe keeps going wrong. It goes in the wrong direction with everything. And it's like when Batman vs. Superman came out. First off, they should never have fucking released that movie. They should have said, no, we're not doing this. We haven't built up any other characters. It's too fucking early for our big fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But
Okay,
I mean, that's the
placebo.
thing. Batman vs. Superman should have been a good fucking movie. They had a fucking blueprint for that shit with World's Finest, written by Paul fucking Dini back in the 90s.
But then they had to shove in all this other shit that didn't need to be in there.
Exactly. And then you have just, there's so much
stupid. And I think I know exactly where it is. It's the fucking Iron Man 2 syndrome of, we can't actually focus on interesting shit because we gotta devote X number of minutes to setting up other movies. And I'm like, why? We're 2 movies in. You fuckers still have not fucking recovered from the dismal performance that was Man of Steel, and you think you've got a foundation to stand on. I mean, remind me again, how it was like, what, 4 films before Marvel said, okay, we're making the Avengers now?
No, it was day 1, basically. With that post-credit scene of Sam Jackson saying, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
Okay, but here's my point, Bill. They made 4 movies before they even attempted
They also
to do
dropped
an
the bad
Avengers.
one.
What?
Hulk.
That
Yeah,
Completely ignored it.
Everyone fucking ignored it,
sucked.
and that's okay, because they had plenty of other characters established that one bad movie wouldn't sink the whole fucking thing, you know? That's what Batman v Superman essentially was. And then every film that came out after that had to be retooled, fixed up on the fly to try to fucking compensate, and fucked up their own shit.
Yep.
And, oh dear God, does it fucking show!
Still haven't seen Justice League.
I have seen the fucking still of fucking Superman's face being digitally imposed to remove the mustache and all that shit, and I'm just like, now ain't that an image that basically sums up the entire fucking situation?
And that was just, whoever thought it was a good idea to do that?
Apparently,
fucking retarded. Well,
apparently,
you could have worked around.
The story. Let me finish. Apparently, the story with that, Bill, is that there just wasn't enough time to do it right. So, in addition to all the money they flushed down just to get that fucking hack job done, it wasn't even done right because they just did not give them a timeline to do it on that was reasonable.
What they really should have done was, okay, he's got a stash during the fucking shoots of this film. What can we do to get around the stash? Do we spend millions and millions of dollars CGIing the stash away, or can we, like, spend $20 to get this man a fucking beard? Fucking give him a fucking fake beard. That's all you had to do.
Or they could have just fucking had it be Superman as a twist at the end. They got his face fucking all covered up in shit in a mask up until the reveal where his fucking mask gets torn off and it's this bearded Superman.
Yeah, once again, a bearded Superman could have probably would have been the most cost-effective, better-looking situation.
But no, they went with we're gonna CGI it out in post. Oh, and we're gonna fucking balloon this film's budget to the point where we have no hope of being able to actually fucking make money back on this. Because we're Warner Brothers. We don't give a shit. It ain't our money we're spending.
Hey, Joe.
I just- We're just going on about why the DCU is fucked
It just started.
and how there's no hope. It's
Oh,
like,
the DCU's fucked.
So Wormwood, the reason why they didn't shave it is because he was in another movie where his character required a mustache at the same
it's like
time.
their director for the other film literally said, you can't shave it. It's not happening. I don't care how much money you give us in exchange for this. We're not doing it.
And which, once again, they just should have given him a fucking beard. This wasn't fucking. The level of competence here is astounding. Is all I can say.
I just can't believe that everyone involved in the production process, that was the money man, looked at this and said, yeah, this is okay. At no point did anyone just stand up and say, stop wasting our money.
It seems like putting on a fake stash for the other movie would be easiest. Well, the
Once
director said no.
Yeah, and then once again, instead of spending millions and millions of dollars in CG on Cavill's non-mustache process, could have just made him a fucking fake beard to go with that mustache. Said, okay, Superman's back from the dead. He's got a beard. You know,
Yeah.
whatever. But that would have made sense. And here's the thing. This is the same company that said, no, we're not going to do Justice League Mortal because that's going to cost us $200 million and we can't throw that money away. Less than a decade later, oh, we can totally spend $200 million getting rid of Cavill's fucking mustache.
Now here's my question. Why didn't they just put Justice League Doom in theaters? I would pay good money to see that movie on the big screen. That movie was amazing.
It was pretty cool. It was basically
No, it
Tower
was
of Babel.
awesome.
I liked it. I mean, I
It
would have
was
loved to
better
see.
than Avengers, but...
I would have loved to seen Justice League Mortal actually get made. I mean, I remember actually following the production, pre-production of that, thinking, all right, they're finally doing a Justice League movie. This is gonna be the fucking tits. The cast was set, everything was ready to go, and then they pulled the plug at the last second when the budget was too much for Warner Brothers. I mean, just how do you piss away this kind of money and keep a job? I want to know. I want to know how to get that kind of security.
You ever seen The Producers?
That's a good point.
Hey, yeah, maybe that was the whole point. Like, the movie just broke even. Maybe they're taking a little behind the counter.
No, that's how Hollywood accounting always works.
No, Wormwood, I don't think Superman and Super Jizz would split Lois in half if they fucked. Simply because, let's be perfectly honest, anytime this man took a if he had the ability to do that with his cum, I'm pretty sure he would break the toilet every time he took a shit. So, I think it's safe to say that the man pisses and shits like everyone else. Now,
He just uses his laser vision to melt the ceramic back together.
Clark probably is pretty handy with a wrench because he grew up on a farm, but I don't think he would be able to fix a toilet at the Daily Planet like that, and nobody would fucking notice. Now, if they fucked, you know good and damn well Lois is riding cowgirl. Well, once again, that's...
Would he finish putting that, like, launcher into the air, though?
Bullshit. Here's the thing. You know, you cannot control a shit like that. I don't care if you are Superman. You know, if you had a couple of fucking burritos from Taco Bell, you're blowing up that goddamn toilet. I don't care who you are. Unless Superman's digestive system is that fucking powerful, where he can eat toxic waste and not have raging shits afterwards. Because you know, at one point in his life, Superman has had the raging shits. But so once again, I'm pretty sure he, when busting a nut, this is somebody he probably would have had to explain. He's touched himself at night at one point or another. So if he actually did what you suggested, there would have been a situation where Mom and Pa actually had to have the talk because motherfucker busted out a window. Has anyone read Wanted? No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
I'm back. What's going on?
We're talking about Superman.
We're talking about Superman, and Wormwood brought up the question: would his super jizz split Lois in half? My answer: no.
Yeah, that muscle doesn't work like that.
Now, once again, Lois probably would be riding cowgirl because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm getting down, I fucking go hog wild. My hips are fucking moving like a goddamn train piston.
I got a better answer. Remember Superman 2 it was, where the one with Zod, I don't think it was Zod, but when fucking Clark finally got hitched to Lois and then he took her to the honeymoon bedroom, and then the next scene we see in there, the room has been destroyed.
That wasn't in the movie. They actually had that bit where, the honeymoon suite was just the cover for their story that they were doing. But when they actually did the deed in the movie, they actually made it a point to say, okay, he's got to expose himself to this red sunlight to depower his ass. And the kryptonite condom came from Mallrats, by the way, Wormwood.
What?
There was a plot point where they have a kryptonite condom. It was pretty funny and wanted, apparently. But the kryptonite condom joke.
Stupid.
Yeah, well, the kryptonite condom joke came from Mallrats when Brody was talking about that shit.
It still sounds incredibly stupid.
It is. That's why it was, a point that Brody brought up.
Wow.
But yeah, so worst case scenario, if Lois and Clark are fucking, Lois is probably going to be riding cowgirl.
Welcome back, Placebo.
Thank you. I'm probably going to have to be gone for the rest of the night, though. See ya.
That's cool.
Have a good one.
But yeah,
no.
like, as I was saying before I left, the DCU is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, Aquaman is in the can. That's coming no matter what. Fucking Wonder Woman 2 is getting made come hell or high water. The Flash is currently in limbo and can still be cancelled if they get that fucking much cold feet over it. But everything else is either fucking in limbo or is in very imminent danger of being cancelled.
I think Flashpoint is still happening.
They already made Flashpoint, though.
They made the animated movie
twice. No. They made Flashpoint the movie and Flashpoint on the Flash show.
Yes, and now they're going to do it again.
There is no reason to do it a third time. The animated one was perfect.
I have a better... No, Rain. If they do Flashpoint, that would show some intelligence. You know why?
Because it was good.
Well,
no!
No.
Because then they can retcon everything that was
Okay, that's fair.
stupid in the fucking DCU up to this point out of existence.
Plus, you get Jeffrey Dean
Is
Morgan
that
as
giant
Batman.
crack in the wall anything, Dan?
Where?
Right to the left of the entranceway?
Let's see.
And I'm not even thinking of good plot point with this. This is fucking the blank check to reset the cinematic universe. This is the emergency, we need a reset right now button.
And considering the fact that they were talking about Flashpoint before Justice League even came out, I'm pretty sure that's what they were thinking. So, maybe Warner Brothers has gotten a clue. Very doubtful. Very doubtful. But
BRB.
And at least it's their one shot to reset everything and then do it again and fix it this time and then say you can ignore these films, go watch these ones. Recast
Jason Momoa as Lobo. Dude, that is what they should have done in the first fucking place, but then they said, no, he's gonna be Aquaman, and Aquaman's gonna be a dude bro. What?
I have no problem with dude bro Aquaman, not gonna lie.
I could live with dude bro Aquaman if they did him like in, just in Batman Brave and the Bold, where he is the idiot adventurer. Or actually, the best way to describe it, Hercules, as done by DC, but call him Aquaman instead. Seriously. Anybody out there, fucking read read Hercules, Prince of Power. Yes, we heard you, Joe.
You're very broken up, but we got you. Also, you're still a fucking faggot.
Wormwood.
Yeah, I know.
Superhero movies are kind of lame anyway. Except for Meteor Man. That was great!
Eddie Murphy's Meteor Man is that
Eddie Murphy what? Eddie Murphy was he? Yeah, Eddie Murphy was Meteor Man. I remember Bill Cosby was in that shit too. But yeah, I mean, fuck. Jason Momoa as Lobo. That should have been the thing, but nah.
It's still a case of if they do the Flashpoint reset button, they have to realize this is the last time they're being given a blank check to do that.
Yep.
If they fuck it up again, their ass is out.
Yeah, Meteor Man was pretty solid. I'm not gonna debate that.
I'm not reading the chat, so if you're trying to say anything or talk shit,
Superhero movies are kind of lame anyway, except for Meteor Man. That was good.
I was okay with Meteor Man. I thought it was funny because it was just so. It's a bit like any other disaster movie. You just watch it and you laugh at the spectacle.
And it wasn't terrible. I mean, shit, there are worse superhero movies out there. Case in point, Steel. Steel with Shaquille O'Neal.
I don't think I ever saw that.
You missed nothing. Oh, my fair summer child. You think the DC movies are bad now? We should go back to a mystical time called the late 80s and the early 90s. Yes, Batman was the box office juggernaut, but does anybody remember that wonderful Peter O'Toole movie called Supergirl?
That I have heard of.
Yeah, it was a perfectly
Peter O'Toole's in it.
Yeah, it was a waste of a perfectly good Peter O'Toole.
Yeah.
Just that poor man.
Now here's a question I have: is it better or worse than the new show?
Worse, hands down. The show. I've actually seen the show and I've seen the movie. Yes, the movie was worse.
Wow.
90s Captain America. Oh yes, that was pretty lame too. What else have we got? Let's see. We talked about Shaq and
the
Steel.
Incredible Bulk, or no, the Amazing Bulk.
That doesn't count.
That was straight up someone fucking around in Windows Movie Maker.
We gotta get a copy of that and watch it.
I agree.
And you know, the problem with Supergirl is, here's the thing: they have people that know what they're doing as actors. Every so often, they have some pretty decent stories. But the problem is, they use their writing as a way to fucking soapbox. And regardless of your politics, that usually turns out to be shit. When you say, "Oh, we're gonna hammer your, beat you over the head with this message," it doesn't really say well about anything towards the plot, character development, or anything of, actual merit.
What's more, it's often ham-fisted in its message, and it's not convincing. If anything, it makes me even more opposed to your message.
Right. And
but of course, I don't care, because at the end of the day, I expect this from all manner of the Hollywood liberal elite, because as we've established, the personal is political, and the left can't meet. So at the end of the day, I'm just fucking laughing because everyone in response to Supergirl's feminism shit is just posting pics of her in with her symbol edited to be an SS uniform.
It's really funny.
I remember the Hercules show. I saw it when I was a kid. Fun fact about Hercules. Apparently Kevin Sorbo, the guy who ended up playing Hercules, was actually in the running against Dean Cain to play Superman.
Really?
Yeah. And apparently I'm a freak because I didn't hate Dean Cain's Superman or his Clark Kent.
Which one was Dean Cain's Superman?
Lois and Clark.
Ah.
But yeah,
Lois was annoying in the bit of that I saw. Maybe it's better later though. I don't know.
Yeah, it does, because Terry Hatcher, meow.
Hey, Bill, you know that the guy who plays Superman in that is Pro Gamergate, right?
I remember.
Yeah.
I was there.
That was the man.
He went on stream with Milo once and yeah, Gamergate is pretty cool, and then we never heard from him again.
I think that's because he was too busy playing video games.
And then he went on to Supergirl. I mean, serious business. Dean Cain actually is on Supergirl every so often.
Okay, what we need to do is we need to meme that Supergirl is secretly a GG conspiracy and that they actually are controlling the whole thing from the inside.
I like that.
And then we need to use him as the reason for why this is how this is actually true.
Like it a lot.
The problem with this, with Supergirl is, they want to talk, their whole thing is politics now. I'm like, okay, you can fuck around with that. And the Supergirl universe, Hillary won. Now, if you really wanted to actually do some, political commentary on the Clinton administration, Hillary gives Luthor a fucking party.
Oh.
Well, you see, Bill, you say that, but here's the problem. The left can't write, and they
the left
can't
thinks
read.
that Donald Trump is Luthor.
And that's the other bit, that they cannot get out of a very narrow set of what is acceptable to them to write about.
I mean, shit. Fucking, I just want to see something.
And they call themselves postmodern.
And this is why I keep saying shit's only gonna get worse from here up until the point where being a liberal is a fireable offense. And before that gets quoted by everyone as an excuse to start hunting me down, IRL.
Implying that it isn't already happening.
Well, all you had to do was take pictures of all those people's houses and they want revenge.
I was waiting for someone to make that joke.
Bad thing is, it wasn't even Templar who took the pictures.
It was Bill.
It was me, Austin! It was me, Netscape! It was me all along!
I'm still laughing at that whole thing where he's like, you took pictures of Brianna Wu's house. Kid really has no clue what he's talking about, does he?
I know, right?
I would feel bad for him. But see, that whole thing just proved to me he deserves every last bit of hate he gets.
Yeah, but speaking of hate, here's the thing that really pisses me off. But since we're talking about DC TV, they've been hyping up fucking Constantine showing up all fucking season. This whole up until the fucking mid-season finale break. They're like, oh yeah, he's gonna show up, and you don't even fucking see him until the end of the last fucking episode, and then oh by the way, you guys go wait till fucking February to get this shit going. Fuck! Oh, at least Constantine's getting an animated show on fucking Seed.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Ryan's still playing him, so yay.
Man, what's the point of this town? I mean, I can get some new armor upgrades, but...
I think that's actually been my comment towards my hometown. Like, what's the point of this place?
Yay, more
It's
grinding.
quite simple, Rain. The point of this town is to waste your time. You are wasting so much time. You could just be playing other video games.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here because it's late and it's clear that I have to grind some more before I can finish it. So,
Well, Puka's already bent over, so get to grinding.
Wait, what's going on here? What am I being volunteered for?
You're on your belly, your ass is in the air, so and Rain says he needs to grind, so have at, boys.
I need money, QQ.
Okay, so what you do is you guys get on a cam, start asking for tips to Crystalis.
I don't think they'll pay me in game money. This ain't Star Wars Battlefront, you know.
Hey, Rain.
Wow.
Rain.
Yeah.
You check out SFO's video? The one that I linked?
No, sorry.
Okay. It's worth checking out.
Okay.
Turns out,
Jews.
Thacker's not a good guy.
Who?
Not Thacker.
Who?
Star Mazer DSP.
Oh.
The guy who? Varric, explain.
Darkside Phil.
No,
Okay.
wrong DSP, yo.
Look, anyway, it's late, and I'm done playing the game for a night. I'll finish it tomorrow. Good night, everyone.
Blacker!
Theos.
Don Thacker, the guy that Alex Maurer was pulling the